Hello and welcome to JV's Daily Marg series, and as we know that we have joined this series as this is the re-christened version of Daily Marg which we have been practicing since long, and now Daily Marg 2.0 has good and essential features which have been added by dwelling into the thought that yes, students are approaching prelims, so we will be giving you 10 prelims answers daily and 10 prelims practice MCQs daily. Then yes, daily one terminology will be given to you which is there in the newspaper, from newspaper itself it will be given to you. There will be one weekly guidance video for your answer writing, for the improvisation of your answer writing, and all of this stuff will be provided to you in one single platform and one single name, that is Daily Marg. Fine. So this Daily Marg basically is an answer writing guidance program which has started on 6th of the September 2022, and you can join this by logging into www.jatinverma.org. Moving ahead, this to the next program of ours, and it's about this PAREEKSHANAM 2.0. PAREEKSHANAM 2.0 is an integrated prelims cum mains test series which integrates both aspects of your preparation, and as I want to announce here that we have very limited slots now because slots already are filling up. So hurry up and join this course because this is a unique blend of all the things, that is prelims, mains, current affairs, CSAT, whether it's static portion or how to integrate mains and prelims, how to integrate the topics, how to write the answers from the same stuff which we are reading from Lakshmikant, and how to solve MCQs from that content only. You can get to know all these things, and hurry up and start these things as soon as possible. You can call us on our numbers and get yourself registered for this program. Moving ahead to the question of the day in the Daily Marg series, this question was from International Relations. As we already promised that all these sections of the syllabus will be covered within the 7 days, and we will be going through every next day. We will be taking the next component, that's International Relations. Tomorrow there will be economics, and on the next day there will be science and tech. And the beauty of this program is that whichever question is being asked is directly influenced from the news. As you can see here that two different credible newspapers have covered this news, which was the recent visit of Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to India. Fine. So yes, these questions are credible enough to believe on. Fine. So the question talks about what are the areas of cooperation and what are the areas of conflict which are there between us and Bangladesh. Fine. As Kautilya said that in the Mandal theory that our neighbors might be our enemies. So we have similar two neighbors, one is on our eastern side, one is on our western side. We have to choose between these two, that who can be our enemy and who can be our friend. So here we can develop the bonds of friendship more and more, as we have crossed recently the 50th year of diplomatic relations. Fine. As we discuss the approach for this question, the approach simply what we will talk about is the historical relationship between India and Bangladesh, because international relations में जितना ज़्यादा पुराना हमारा relationship होगा उतना ही वो relationship गहरा होता जाएगा, उतनी ही वो दोस्ती better होती जाएगी, because always what we will be doing is that we will be improvising on that relationship, because we have to gain the confidence of the partner always. Fine. We will try to minimize the conflicts and we will try to increase the areas of cooperation. Fine. इसके बाद, now once we are done with the introduction and the historical context to this relationship, we will talk about the areas of cooperation, limiting ourselves to the words and space which has been given to us. The words and the space provided here is the resource which you have. You have to utilize it very efficiently so that you answer this question within the time frame within the word limit and achieve the maximum marks you can. Fine. So now what we will talk about is first areas of cooperation, then we will move towards the areas of conflict, and at the last we will provide an optimistic way forward to help us understand that why is this cordial dispute resolution mechanism necessary in the international relations. Okay? Now let's see the answer of this question or the model answer. Yes, as we talked about in approach itself, that historically India has played pivotal role in the creation of Bangladesh. As we know that the history of Bangladesh, that independence में बहुत ज़्यादा रोल रहा, मुक्ति वाहिनी कैसे बनी एंड बांग्लादेश में कितना सपोर्ट हुआ इंडिया की तरफ से, और वो सब चीज़ें हम स्टार्ट करेंगे बिकॉज दैट वाज द ओरिजिन ऑफ इंडिया बांग्लादेश रिलेशंस. फाइन. उसके बाद we will move towards the recent events which happened recently, that we have signed line of credit for defense purchases, we have signed 7 water sharing agreements in the recent visit, we have also signed the 2015 sharing of enclaves agreement with Bangladesh. ठीक है, तो that is how we will concise our information within 3 to 4 lines, and that is how we develop the art of creative writing. ठीक है, ऐसे आंसर करेंगे तो मार्क्स ज्यादा मिलने के चांसेस है. ठीक है. नाउ मूविंग अहेड, what are the areas of cooperation in Indo-Bangla relations? First we will talk about the economic relations, military relations, connectivity and defense. ठीक है. Now as we see that Bangladesh has emerged as the largest trade partner of ours in South Asia, and it's the 4th largest destination for India's exports. So that is how we will establish in our answer. By these facts we can establish the significance of the partner Bangladesh to India, and then in the reverse what we will talk about, that how much significant is India for Bangladesh, as this has been the largest export market for India also. Connectivity, we have developed multiple bus routes, we have invested in road infrastructure, we have invested in road repair and maintenance, we have invested in Mongla port of Bangladesh, so that we develop the connectivity, and then later we develop the connectivity towards our northeast and our Southeast Asian neighbors. ठीक है, तो ऐसे चलेंगे और एक कॉम्प्रहेंसिव पॉइंट ऐसा लिखेंगे जो मल्टी डायमेंशनल हो, जो अपने आप में मल्टी डायमेंशनल हो, और जो एग्जामिनर है जब वो ये पॉइंट पढ़े तो उसको लगे दैट जो आंसर लिखने वाला इंसान है ही इज मैच्योर एनफ टू अंडरस्टैंड द लैंग्वेज ऑफ द सब्जेक्ट. ठीक है, अगर हमें लैंग्वेज पे कमांड आया देन ओनली वी कैन आंसर दीज questions. That is why you need to practice this test series on daily basis. That is why it said that answer writing, it develops with gradual practice. You cannot practice the art of answer writing just going directly to the mains of UPSC. You have to inculcate these things since the beginning. Moving ahead, yes, there are military cooperations, there is military exercise, Sampriti, and there are different counter-insurgency, these exercises between the border forces of both the nations. Defense cooperation, as I said that there is $500 million this line of credit agreement between this Bangladesh, and Bangladeshi armed forces have placed multiple orders for these weapons and arms and ammunitions at India, so that they can import these, we can have this trade in this arms and ammunition. Now the second dimension of this question is about the conflict. ठीक है, now there are conflicts between every neighbor, and this Bangladesh also there are conflicts. First, the water sharing conflicts, as we see that there are around 7 to 8 rivers which we are sharing with Bangladesh, so there will be this water sharing disagreement and water sharing conflict. However, the remarkable progress which recently has happened, that we signed 7 water sharing these agreements with when this Sheikh Hasina PM of Bangladesh visited India recently in 2019. Since 2019, since the exercise of NRC came up and this issue raised, we have seen that there were some discomfort between the diplomatic officials of Bangladesh and India. However, the diplomatic part, or the what we say that the conversation at the diplomatic tables solved this issue to some extent. However, the irritants still remain over there, and yes, we need to work on these because there are communal forces present in both the nations. Moving ahead to the China axis, as it has been increasing its dominance in the Indo-Pacific region, and the checkbook diplomacy and the debt trap diplomacy which China has always played does play a role in India-Bangladesh relations also, because it needs these powers, or it needs these international players on its side so that it can play well on the international tables. That is how we will answer both the dimensions of this question within the word limit, and within this answer writing will help you to understand this concept of limitations. By limitations, I mean that we need to be limited in words, we need to be limited in space, and that is how these model answers are made. Fine. That is why we will keep ourselves limited to these issues and the areas of conflict and the areas of cooperation in this question. In the conclusionary part of this question, we will talk about the way forward for increasing the trade relations, for increasing the economic relations, military relations, and solving the disputes which are still there with Bangladesh. Fine. Increasing the confidence with the Bangladeshi side or with the counterparts at diplomatic levels. So that is how we will conclude this question. Moving forward, we not only get this question and answer format in this daily mark series, what we get over here is that there are some additional things like key facts, as I discussed yesterday also, that there are key facts which we must remember for us to develop knowledge and then use these key facts in answer writing for in the upcoming series or in the UPSC also. ठीक है ना? So recently what was there, that this was the statement by PM that at an early date we will solve these issues with regard to Teesta River. Fine. India largest trade partner in South Asia कौन है? Bangladesh India का 4th largest export, as I said in the model answer itself. Yes, second biggest trade partner of India is Bangladesh. Fine. India is Bangladesh's second largest trade partner. Largest export market, military exercise Sampriti. In 2018, we have signed this line of credit of 500 million US dollars. At the international platforms or the regional platforms, we have SAARC, we have BIMSTEC, we have Indian Ocean Coastal Region Cooperation Association, to which we can rely upon so that we develop more and more diplomatic relations and we develop the platforms for conversation. Then yes, loans and advances which India has provided to Bangladesh. For example, these concessional loans of 9.5 billion US dollars for rail connectivity, for port development, and for the repair and maintenance of Bangladesh road network. As I said that the rivers, yes, there are multiple rivers which we must remember, and there can be a question on such pattern by UPSC in MCQs in prelims, like Bhagirathi river. It's on the border and it does not touch the border of Bangladesh. There are other rivers, Brahmaputra, Surma, Kushiyara, Meghna, Padma. These rivers were in news in the editorial itself. From this editorial we have made this question, and these were the rivers which are mentioned over there, and these are the common rivers between India and Bangladesh. We need to remember these rivers and we need to keep an eye on these, that where does they fall into. ठीक है. Yes, 7 agreements signed for railways, science and tech, space technology in other dimensions also. Then yes, assistance and know-how for the design and cooperation of warships, which is being provided by India to Bangladesh. So these are the key initiatives which we have took so that we develop the relationship with India Bangladesh. Such facts and figures which we must talk about in our answers in UPSC or in other test series, also in daily mark, are necessary to keep a view of or to keep in mind. Then yes, in this question or in the future questions on international relations about Bangladesh, we can also mention about SEPA, as PM Modi has recently talked about this thing, and SEPA is something which Bangladesh would like to conclude in this year only. Fine, because in 2026 Bangladesh is gonna be the developing nation trade. Once this tag attached to Bangladesh, it will stop having that avenues to qualify as which it had been enjoying as a least developed nation. Now what it will be as a developing nation, so therefore it will try to conclude SEPA. This SEPA has this multiple objectives so that we can develop the relations in the spheres of trade, cooperation, economics and military relations also. Then moving further, yes, this was the UPSC previous year question which was asked in 2020. That is why I told you that we need to keep in mind the facts and figures. However, some questions are over there which we can directly use and which we can keep a view of, like in this question, this word consistently, as we know that this is a kind of extreme statement that the value of India-Sri Lanka trade has consistently increased in the last decade. So for 10 years it won't be increasing. We can eliminate one over here. Then the textile and textile articles, India and Bangladesh, yes, we know about jute production, so we can consider this statement as true. Then in the last 5 years, Nepal has been the largest trading partner of India in South Asia, but in the question discussion of the model answer we read that it's Bangladesh, so 3 we can eliminate, therefore the answer will be 2 only. That is how we will be going through this daily mark series, daily mark 2.0. There will be discussions on every aspect of the exam on daily basis. I thank you sincerely for being here at JV's IAS. From our side, all the best to all of you, and we welcome you all to join this course. Thank you once again.